Hi, welcome, and we're here with Dennis, the founder of Foursquare at LeWeb, and we wanted to ask Dennis, what is the first differentiating factor that he sees between Foursquare and Facebook Places?
Well, I think there's a lot of differentiating factors. The first one is, well, really the biggest one is that Foursquare as a company was built and designed to be all about like mobile experiences and helping people connect with people, people and places out in the real world. I think Facebook is fantastic at helping people connect online, and they use it all the time. But like we've, from the very beginning, we've wanted to make something with a tighter graph that's all about the places that you go, sharing those places with people, like meeting up with people in real time. These are some of the ideas that we had with Dodgeball that we've just kind of brought into Foursquare. And then on top of that, there's all the things that we're doing with deals with local merchants, and some of the things we're doing with brands and media companies, all the things we're doing with game dynamics and different types of rewards, things we're doing with tips and to-dos and helping people create lists of things they want to do and then encourage them to go out and accomplish them. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that's really baked in there. It's a really long answer to a short question.
No, it was a good answer. But then our second question was, you were talking about how there was so much involvement from the merchants in the U.S.
From the what?
There's a lot of merchant involvement in the U.S., but it's not so much yet, at least in France, and we're wondering how you're planning on developing Foursquare in Europe.
Yeah, it's like we guys at that panel yesterday where they talked about like different fragmentation issues of like starting a startup here in Europe. I can kind of empathize with a little bit of that. Like the special stuff is taken off in the US because like it's just, I don't know, users have been going out to venues and just been talking about it, and like the word has spread very quickly. I think part of the reason it hasn't spread so quickly here is because we just don't have as many users in France as we have in all of the US. But as we're like gaining support from the community here, you're gonna start seeing it happen. We already have specials that are set up here. We just don't have thousands of them. And I bet like if there's a big difference between what we're talking about at LeWeb this year versus what we're going to talk about next year, it's going to be like the number of specials, like how influential the product ends up being, like how many more users that we have. I think it's going to be a big year for us with growth, not just in users and usage, but in merchant participation, like all around the world, and especially here.
Thank you so much.
Cool. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming to my office hours.